Mr. M Entertainment here, and today we are talking about one of the harder superhero games of the 90s. A blood red cartridge, a storyline so dark it felt like Marvel was just they didn't care. They were just like, here's a raw uncut storyline. This is Spider-Man, Maximum Carnage, and it pulls no punches. For Arkham Asylum, before Spider Man on PS4, there was the 16-bit beast, released in 1994, called Maximum Carnage. It hit the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis like a red symbiote sledgehammer, and it wasn't just hard, it was unforgiving. But behind the rage quits was a comic, faithful experience that dared to go darker than any Spider Man game before. This wasn't your average superhero plot. Maximum Carnage was ripped straight from the 14-part Marvel comic arc, where Carnage escapes Ravencroft and builds a sadistic squad to spread chaos in New York City. Spider Man and Venom team up, forming one of the grittiest alliances in Marvel history. You don't just fight thugs, you face Sheik, Demon Goblin, Doppelganger, and it's a full on horror show wrapped in a side scroller. And the game, it follows that story, beat for beat, with text, cutscenes using actual comic art, making every level feel like a chapter in a living, breathing graphic novel. You're thrown into Manhattan streets with two options, fist or web. Maximum Carnage is a brawler at heart, think Final Fight, but with symbiotes and spider sense. You switch between Spider-Man and Venom, each with unique moves and animations, but this game doesn't hold your hand. And enemies that swarm you in waves like an arcade beatdown set to 11. But when you finally clear a level, it feels earned. I was like, whew, thank you, because this game is hard. Okay, it is really hard. And here's something wild: the soundtrack wasn't just good; it features actual tracks from Green Jelly, a legit metal band in the 90s, which I didn't know until researching this game a little bit more. That pounding, distorted guitar sound made every street brawl feel like a mosh pit. And let's not ignore that red cartridge. Back when most games were gray and black, Maximum Carnage stood out in stores, loud, edgy, and blood colored. Yes, I when I was a kid, I did have the red cartridge, but now I have the black reprint of the game. So, I mean, I would prefer the red cartridge, but for the price that I paid for the black cartridge, I'm happy with that. It's the same game. Today, it's a cult classic. Maximum Carnage showed that superhero games could be serious, gritty, and loyal to the comics. It paved the way for Ultimate Spider Man, Web of Shadows, and even the brutal tone of modern Venom stories. It's more than nostalgia, it's a blueprint. Maximum Carnage dared to be unapologetic, dark, in a time when superhero games were still playing it kind of easy. You know, their storylines weren't really the greatest. But, you know, you got the gist of it. You had your X-Men's, you had other Spider-Man games, uh, you had like your fighting games that really didn't have too much of a story-ish, kind of. But Maximum Carnage, it just came out the gate punching. Like, this is the gritty story. This is what's going on. And if you want even more back knowledge of it, go pick up the comics. So yeah, the game is really fun. I took all weekend to play the game. I enjoyed it. I forgot how much fun it is. With it being as difficult as it is, I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't beat it. I got pretty far. I mean, I don't have a game genie or anything, so I probably won't beat the game. It's that hard. Like they just swarm, all the enemies swarm you. Uh and the boss fights are just hard. It just goes Sheik, Doppelganger. Okay, you smack those two up, you're damn near dead. And then out of nowhere, you got Demon Goblin, and you got uh, I can't remember his name, but he Green Goblin because he's flying around, and you can't even hit uh one of the other guys. You can't even hit the other enemies. And then you got Carnage after that. So you get 3 lives, and I believe it's like 3 continues. And it's just boss battle, boom, another boss battle level. There are secret levels in the game that you can get extra lives and get more health. But as many enemies are on the screen and just the boss battles back to back, it's hard. I like to use Venom because Venom, one of his unique things is he's slower, but he hits harder. So I'm always a Venom fan. If I could be Venom in the game, I'll be Venom. But when it comes to Spider-Man villains, I'm Carnage all the way. So, but I can't play as Carnage, which would be really cool. Now, if this game was 2-player, it'd be a little easier, I think. But like I said, this is going to be a game that I don't think I'm ever going to beat, and I'm fine with that. I enjoy the game enough to play it over and over and over, and maybe get a little farther each time I play it. Okay? So for me, that's fine. What do I rate this game? I'm going to give it with the story, the Carnage element that I like, and just everything about it because of what it is. I'll give it a 6, a 7. It's a good game. I like the fact that it's hard. I don't want to pick up the game and beat it and it goes back on the shelf and, oh, I forgot all about that game. Probably never play it again because I beat it. It's on camera that I've beat it. I recorded myself and did everything that I had to do. So I'm probably never going to play a game like that again. That's why I like the harder games. Because in 5-6 years, I'd be like, oh man, I never beat that game. All right, let's try it again. And then I just remember all the fond memories of from when I was a kid playing it to now being 35 playing it to maybe another 50 years old. I'll be like, oh man, I remember making YouTube videos about this game. So for me, it's a good game. It's definitely a cult classic. So what do you think about the game? Put your memories down in the comments, and if you want to deep dive into the sequel of it, let me know. Or if you have another game in mind, let me know. Put it down in the comments. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Tell me, mister, and what do you find in a sea of games inside your mind? Do they hold up or crumble small? Your judgment thunder, let us hear it all. They hold up or crumble small. Your judgment thunder, let